Might as well just throw ourselves into it.
Yeah, here we are.
Yeah,
We're thrown in. I don't feel any different.
You know, well, that's because the fucking you have to plug the cable in the back of your head. It's probably not seated right.
Oh,
you gotta
right.
like really jam it in there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think your port's infected, my guy. It doesn't look good.
I'll cook it out.
You'll cook it out.
I say
can
that,
cook anything
and he's
out.
terrified every time I say it.
It is terrifying. There are things you can cook out, and there's things you can't.
No.
Rot is not something you can cook out.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you literally can.
Okay. So you have a steak.
Yeah.
You have a steak.
It's green.
It's
Fully
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good crust. That's what I say.
No,
Nice, good
green.
crust.
No.
Yeah.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
And steak.
and steak.
No, it's
Or
great.
anything that's green,
It's a
really,
great
except for
crust.
vegetables.
It's a great crust.
Dude, you know what I had today?
What?
Absolutely.
So I went to Whataburger, and
Oh.
I yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm off. I'm going back on in
Oh no, we're not talking about that. We just both hate
I don't like
Whataburger.
Whataburger.
Really?
Yeah.
You said that before, and
I like it.
Ugh.
I had their regular burger, and I was like,
You can't get their regular burger. I will say that.
Mm.
Well, and here's the thing. I was gonna get.
why would you go to a place when the basic food is not good?
Well, no, you get their shakes, their fries, and their spicy ketchup, and then you gotta get more than one patty. That's the important thing.
I just
You
wanted to
can't
see
get a
the
single one.
default and how it was, and I did not enjoy the default.
The default is not impressive. You have to get the you have to go ups on it. Well, that's why you go to In-N-Out. You get it animal style. Stop doing
you shouldn't
that.
have to get an animal style to make it taste good.
But okay, I understand your
see my-
point. But I didn't realize I'd actually ordered a triple decker. That's probably why I had to take a nap, because this is day 2 of eating like shit and having normal carbs.
Oh, man.
I'm out of ketosis right now. But let me tell you, that's probably why I had to take a 2.5 hour nap, because my body's like carbs. Yeah. So it doesn't. Well, let's talk about what happened last week, and now it's like I'm just not feeling great. I'm gonna get back on.
I've been in
this
ketosis
next
so
week.
long, I've skipped kidney stones, and now it's just like piss and cement.
Oh, that is a horrible image.
What?
Oh,
you have a
that's
hard time
awful.
pissing with ketosis?
No, well, I mean that is one of the concerns if you stay in long enough. It's easier to form
Is
kidney
it
stones.
paste?
No.
When you
It's
piss?
just easier to form kidney stones. I was making a hyperbole.
I don't know ketosis. I don't know.
Casey's pissing, and it sounds like he's dropping handfuls of pebbles into the toilet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, ding, 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 ding.
That's what I thought you were. Yeah, like I'm like, damn, dude. Yeah, but the whole thing with like kidney stones, you're supposed to have prune juice.
Mm-hmm.
Is that allowed?
Probably not. 'Cause it's probably too sugary. Any sort of juice.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
sugary.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew a guy who got like several kidney stones. He's like, never again. So he has prune juice every day.
I believe it.
Because he had like 3 kidney stones, and you don't want to have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, let alone 3. God, that's.
I think he had like 3 or more, and he's like, no. Oh
man, I knew. I had a friend who was it Isaac? I don't remember. He had a kidney stone so big that he was gonna have to have surgery to like get it out.
Dude, shout out to him.
Shout out to
Kidney
shout
Stone
out to
Boy.
Kidney Stone Boy. I think it's Isaac, but I don't want to say it broke up. Luckily,
Yeah.
he was like
Oh.
fully fucking
Oh, they
literally
broke
gonna
up?
have
Yeah.
to.
Just when the music was getting good.
Just when it got good, yeah.
Shout
Damn.
out- Shout out to Kidney Boy. Hey,
Yeah, the Kidney Stone Boy.
Yeah, what's up? It's out to the Kidney Stone Boy.
Also, you want walnuts? I got walnuts for you.
Yeah, I already ate some.
I'm good. I
He
don't
ate
need-
some.
Yeah, because I'm a
And you don't want it.
good keto
He's a
boy.
good-
Yeah, you're a good. I'm a bad keto boy.
Yeah.
I'm so bad. But I mean, I feel bad. Like I don't feel good. Like it's like I want to go back to eating like I was, because I'm just like, no,
Yeah.
this isn't
And you know,
great.
I think it's very strange that you can feel bad because I mean, you guys know when I'm eating. I don't ever change emotionally when I eat bad stuff.
Yeah.
I just
I
stay
mean, I-
same.
I
I'm
don't
like
know if
I'm
I-
like this the quintessential stoic.
I don't know if I change. Oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
That's yeah.
You're an
just about
intestinal
no
what-
matter
stoic.
no matter yeah, no matter what I eat, my mood is probably the same.
I feel like on one hand that's physiologically impossible. I'm pretty sure what you
You've
eat
seen what
does
I've eaten.
affect you.
You've
But
seen
on
what
the
I've
other
eaten.
hand, it isn't really that. Like it's not like, oh, I had that triple. I don't regret having that triple burger. That ruled. That was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Good.
But I am just kind of like, I do feel like, ugh, like bodily. Like I'm like, oh, I feel a
'Cause it's
little
it-
sluggish. I feel a little.
It's
you know.
probably because it was Whataburger.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
No, Whataburger's not bad.
Oh, It wasn't that.
I'm the way I feel is more akin to Dennis. Like I'm like, oh wow, I feel like I'm gonna pass out and I've got absolutely no energy. Oh, I'm doing good.
Yeah, that means I'm losing weight. That means I'm staying in form. Oh, I couldn't fucking do that.
I do that every day though, so I don't know. I'm losing weight.
What about
gaining weight with cooking?
Yeah.
What
Well, you're
about
just making pastries?
In-N-Out?
Oh, In-N-Out, I can do.
It's fine.
Very carefully.
It's
Got to
fine.
get that lettuce wrap, no sauce. Give me the mustard.
They do lettuce
Well,
wraps in
Drifters,
In-N-Out?
They do.
You went to
well, I wanna
Drifters
for
too.
that.
I prefer Drifters over In-N-Out.
Okay,
But
I understand.
I mean, actually, I'm not sure why. It's pretty much the same thing.
It pretty much is the same. Well, Drifters is less of a line.
Yes, that's it. Yes.
What was
Well,
it?
it's less of a line, but it does take longer. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, you get the lettuce wrap, double cheeseburger, get the sliced onions, not grilled.
Ooh. Yeah,
'Cause,
don't do that.
If it's grilled, then I don't
know.
know.
You
It
can't do
could caramelize it. Add sugar or something.
It does.
That-
but
What?
well,
I don't think technically it
doesn't
matters.
add-
It technically doesn't, but as long as I believe that it does.
it tastes better, so you're like it sucks.
Oh.
No,
Now, it's actually very sad when I get these burgers because it's just meat and cheese in a very bad wrap.
Dude,
That's-
hell yeah. That was
that's
my last
fine.
10 years of eating.
meat and cheese in a bad wrap.
Yeah.
Look, I would go because I've been going to Jimmy John's a lot because when I'm looking for fast food because you just get the fucking unwitches. I remember making that shit. This shit is classic.
The new sandwich.
What's the new sandwich?
Capri salami pesto. Perfect for keto. Perfect. Because you
and
got
put that in a lettuce wrap.
Yep, because you got the pesto. I already checked all the carbs and all this because I'm in there. You're getting 3 dollops of mozzarella, tons of oil. Just slap on even more oil. Some mayo. Main thing you got to watch out for is probably the balsamic grape vinaigrette or whatnot.
You don't have to
that
worry
they
about
put on
balsamic
it.
vinegar on keto.
There's a lot of sugar that they put on that.
That makes
okay.
sense.
But
Yeah.
reading it it's that amount of sugar for a tablespoon. I do not think that they're pouring a tablespoon on that. So
Oh yeah, they're definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds fucking delicious. I definitely
it
need
is.
to go do that.
Oh, just started again. I missed it so much.
You know what's up there? So have you guys been to the new Gamers Haven location?
Yeah.
Once.
Dan and I were looking for a DCC book. We couldn't find it last week.
Gotcha.
So I had to order it.
Yeah, if there was anywhere to find it, it'd be Gamers Haven. Which I mean, that's
Didn't
always
have
been true because they always had a good selection. But now they have more space. Now they have an even bigger selection. It'd be cool if that place just became wall to wall shelves. You know what I mean? I know there's a place up in Denver where I was taking Mythic games, I think, and they literally have board games like Jenga'd onto the walls and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like
I wanna go there.
there's so much stock. That place is stuffed with shit. It's so cool.
I'm pretty sure Gamers Haven tries to clear stuff out that's not selling.
Which is the
huge
right
clearance
thing to do.
sections.
Yeah.
Huge clearance sections. Always.
And it's funny, they don't have the clearance sections aren't as big as they used to be. I feel like they're getting a lot better at like figuring out how to get rid of stuff. I mean, I've been getting rid of stuff too. I have this was going somewhere, but I do have an anecdote. But Dungeons and Javas, I don't know if you guys have been to yet.
Yep, once.
Yeah, once.
Yeah, that place fucking rules because I've been playing a lot of Magic and we play like Commander there and stuff like that. And the fucking cafe game store is like the best model in the world.
I mean,
Like,
that
fucking
one.
loves it.
One's a big. You're playing there less than buying books.
Yes, yeah, you're using
You're
the
there
space.
to play. If you're like,
Right.
oh, this popular game I need a reference to, they might have it, but it's like mostly tables,
Yeah,
which makes sense because Gamers Haven has the books. It's
I've
not
bet-
very far away.
I've been considering like moving back in with my parents, at least until I get until I get my boyfriend out here. But one of the big things is this, I host our weekly games, our weekly Monday game. But we're like, we'll just move to Dungeons and Javas. We love that place.
Yeah.
Good vibes. There's always space, especially on a Monday, depending on
A
where
lot
you
of
go.
space. Yeah, I haven't done anything to play there, but I just scope places out.
We need to. You guys want to spend more money? We'll get you into Magic.
I can't. You can't teach me anything about rules. I ignore them.
Yep.
Oh,
I hate rules in general.
And there's a lot of like, I feel like it's better than what makes Magic. I feel like better than things like Yu-Gi-Oh is like Magic uses a lot of keywords. So once you understand what vigilance means, then you'll always just understand it. It's
Yeah,
not like
there's
Yu-Gi-Oh where you
exceptions.
read like a block of 6-point font that takes up half the card every time.
Oh
You
my
just
God.
gotta know. but anecdotally, what I was gonna say is, so I've been selling a lot of RPG books. It's been an ongoing process because it's like, I think I've made about, I want to say I'm approaching $2,000.
Wow.
Selling RPG books, and
That's a lot.
it is a lot. And I'm not selling the stuff that's like sentimental or things that I use, but there's so much shit I don't use. There's so much shit that is just, I'm at the point where if I'm looking at something and it's collecting dust, it's just like, I just look at it and I'm like, ooh, botched investment, bad investment, oof, ow. You know what I mean? Like that's not good. I don't want to be looking at that.
Yeah.
And Noble Knight Games are the people I always sell to because, yeah, they're going to undercut you because they're taking on the responsibility of holding it in stock and then selling it and stuff like that. But I've found them to be really fair. The couple of times where I've pushed back on a price, we've been able to haggle it out. And I'm like, okay, cool. Most recently, I was selling some stuff. And this guy, I thought I've worked with him before because he emailed me like, oh yeah, how about 100 for these? And I was like, I don't know. I was actually thinking like maybe drop this item and then do 130 for these. And it was the first time he sent me back 3 paragraphs like, well, here's how we calculate our prices. And here's like a screenshot of a spreadsheet that I was using to calculate this and do all this. And I'm like, you broke the rule. We're haggling. Like, what are you doing? You know what? I felt so fucking insulted. I'm like, dude, just give me another price back. It's like, because it's like I gave her that price and it's like, oh, that's not a good price. It's like, then give me another one. What are you doing?
I guess the more American way of haggling, which is like, I'm gonna fucking tell what you mean. And you're like, but maybe your foot looks weird, so
your foot looks weird.
Yeah, so
hey, you got weird feet.
No,
give me $10.
The real American way of doing it is stating your price, and they're like, "How about this?" And you go, "No, I know what I've got."
Yeah, we don't haggle.
Yeah, I know what I've got is the best haggle thing. But then that's when you go, okay, buy.
Yeah,
because literally, if you're selling, because I've haggled a good amount, and it's like. I'm not saying like that I'm necessarily the best haggler in the world, but when you are talking with someone about a price and you're not clearly doing you're doing the back and forth thing, if someone's like, no, then it's like, well, then I'm not going to sell anything to you, you fucking idiot. Yeah,
I was
like,
with
this is a song and dance, my guy. What are you talking about?
I was with somebody when they were trying to buy furniture and she was like, oh, what about this? And they're like, as is. We're not talking. You're buying it this or not? And she was like, what about this? And they're like, that's not what was written online. No. No.
That fucking sucks.
That's the assumption is that people get annoyed. They're like, I said this online, and they walk up and they want it lower. I'm like, that's how it
works. You put the price higher.
Yeah.
That I don't understand because
people hate that. They want a hard transaction.
That's so fucking stupid because they're going to be the one who's going to find it a lot harder to move the merchandise. Because I've sold stuff up Craigslist before.
Yeah,
of course, I put it up. Like, at least like 20% more than I actually think I can get for it. Yeah. Because I know that they're going to bring me down.
I mean, that's how housing prices are, and that's a haggling system. You can't change that.
It's a formality.
Yeah.
It's a song. It's just a thing that you do. And because I think that it establishes like there's a respect there. There's a respect that it's like, hey, I know what you got. And I'm like, I know what you got, but also I'm not stupid, and I know that I'm trying to get it for cheaper. And so we do this thing just so we're all satisfied. So the fact that this guy who's like a sales rep for Noble Knight was like, oh, no. I'm like, I've literally worked with 3 other people from Noble Knight, and they've all haggled successful with me. So what is your fucking deal,
well,
dude?
You could still say no, but then be like, yeah, I think I won't go any further. Maybe like this, new thing, but like at this point I hit my bottom. That's still like a haggling. It's just saying like, oh, look, let me show you my dating profile.
Now I will say it was really bad because so I said no thanks. I'll rescind it mostly because I was mad.
Yeah.
And then 2 hours later I came back mostly because one, I drove when he gave me the whole spreadsheet thing. He way jacked up the price on his end compared to what I was saying because he's like, this is the absolute most I can give. And I'm like, well, that was kind of a dumb move on your part, but okay. And then I also found more stuff I wanted to sell. So even though, and I was also hoping that the feeling of like me, like, oh, I'm coming crawling back would maybe help me like haggle a little bit more. But also it's just the fact that I was like, because he was like 100 and I'm like 130 and he's like, no, the most I could do is 175. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you just, okay, sure. So it was after that, the 2 hours after, I'm thinking like, did he just like put $40 on him? okay, sure. I've got something else I could sell. I can come back and be like, oh, yeah. So I'm making, like, from this recent haul, I'm making, like, 400 total between everything.
Nice.
So
Nice.
And it's great because it's just shit that I'm not fucking using.
Yeah.
And I love RPG. Like, I'm looking at your shelf, right fucking here. I love RPG shelves. RPG shelves rule. It's so cool to see. There's this one YouTuber, I forget his fucking name. He has, like, no views. He's, like, this fucking bald, like, fucking weak old man.
Chris Perkins.
Beta. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, Beta. He's this Beta. No, he's a cool guy. But he has these big bookshelves, and the shelves are literally bending under the weight of, like, all the books.
Nice.
That's, like, cool as hell. It's so rad.
Yeah.
But then, like, I think about, like, I'm going to be renting for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be, like, I don't want to move all those again.
Yep.
Oh, my fucking God. Are you kidding me?
It's best to minimize a little bit.
Yeah. It's so cool to have a big collection. I've always thought that was a cool thing to have, but then I look at, like, the return on the investment I'm making, and then the other burdens, like, I have to buy more shelves, and I have to box these all up, and I have to drag boxes of books places. Fuck that. I'm not doing that again. If it's not being used, if it's not being used and doesn't have a sentimental value, it's out the door.
Did you read that because it was like during the pandemic there was like things about tidying up that Asian lady got popular.
Marie Kondo.
Yeah, you probably didn't read that, did you? Did you?
No,
because he was like, if you look at it and it doesn't bring you happiness, sell it, throw it at people.
Well, so I didn't read it directly, but I remember hearing that and it resonating with me.
It was a thing years ago, but then like during that, she got her own show and it got really big.
I also liked her idea of, if you have an emotional attachment to an object, get rid of it, but take a picture first. And that seems so, like, kitschy, and that seems so, like, but, like, I can see psychologically, like, that works. If the only thing that is attaching to this object is the sentimentality, then capture the sentimentality and then get rid of the object.
Yeah. Unless that object is already a picture, because then you're just exchanging one for the other.
$1,000 painting.
You take enough pictures of pictures that it's like in effect in like 2 mirrors where it like goes into infinity. You can't see the picture anymore, but you could tell it's pictures of pictures.
Thousands of hard drives of pictures.
Yeah. Thousands of hard drives of one picture. No, yeah, like stuff like I did downsize during the pandemic a lot, but also I've always wanted to go minimalist. That's always been something I've wanted to do and never felt like I could. Yeah. And now I feel like I have the confidence too, because when you're selling stuff and you want to haggle, because there was one thing, I was selling my Pathfinder books when I was younger, and I did not haggle well, and I got fucked out of that, and I've been really sad about some of that stuff, because it's like shit. Like I had like every Pathfinder first edition book. Yeah. I also had like every D&D 4th edition book, and those are gone now too. And those are decisions I made that I'm like, man, I wish I didn't make those decisions. But now I'm realizing it's not that I want those things back, as cool as they are. I just wish I had gotten their worth out of them. But now I feel like I have the confidence to, somebody's like telling me I want this, and I'm like, no, motherfucker, I want this,
Yeah. I think I took a 180 from that, which was like I started from the ashes of having nothing.
Yeah, true.
Literally.
And then I'm just like, if there's an object that can make this easier, I'm probably gonna get it. Because I hate obstacles.
He has been swiftly collecting every kitchen appliance known to man.
But I try to argue that I use it. Yeah, that's the problem. Is my work tool thing has converted to other things.
He's also a connoisseur of scents.
Yeah, I like cologne.
Yeah.
He's
got cologne.
I saw in the bathroom.
He's got all the different essential oils.
Yeah.
If it smells incense, he's got a collection of them.
That fucking rules.
Yeah, I don't know why I did a 180, because then I remember after the fire, I'm like, great, I moved in with a good friend of mine. I have nothing. Moving day was like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I don't know. I guess I went 180. But for me, I'm like, if everything I owned burned down, I probably wouldn't care. Like if I had my gaming computer, okay, it sucks.
Same.
I'll just go read a book.
That is honestly something I've been trying to get to.
I think I'm like totally fine.
Yeah, same. I feel like if all the shit that I own went up in ash, it would be unfortunate. I wouldn't be it'd probably suck, but I wouldn't be. And this is at my place now, like at the place I am now. Give it a couple years ago, and I probably wouldn't be thinking this way. But it's like there's maybe a couple things that I'd want to use the insurance check to replace, but then everything else is backed up. Like literally my computer and my hard drive could melt right? Like it could explode right now and I wouldn't lose a thing. And most of my important files and stuff, that's the thing I need to do. There's some documents I need to digitize. Yeah. I need to get on that.
I mean, if I lost that stuff, I still probably be like, because there's a point where I lost my main computer when I was in like one of my first apartments, and I just read more.
Yeah.
I finished, I actually, maybe several times. Yeah, I had a laptop that died, and I just read way more. I finished books a lot more.
Yeah. That's cool.
No, I had the same thing happen. That's how I went into reading so much fiction.
Then I ruined it by putting my computer downstairs.
It was so self-enriching. I hope it never happens again.
I like it. I like a detox. I love a detox. That's why, like, having a computer,
that's what I need.
Having
a
computer
detox.
out of my room is probably better for me. But then, like, I would have to just go somewhere else from my room. Because I used to leave my computer downstairs so Casey could use it. Mm-hmm. And then out of the room was nice. I go into my room, it's quiet, and my room is for reading and getting up in the morning.
Fuck, man, that's what I need as a detox. Something I appreciate about Burning Wheel is Luke. So, okay, I don't know if you've seen Luke Crane's Reddit account.
No.
But
no.
Basically, I mean, he refuses to sell PDFs for the Burning Wheel, which I never really understood, but I guess I kind of understand now. I mean, I still have a scanned, bookmarked copy that I made, so I can back up. I will always have Burning Wheel, even if every copy is destroyed. But like on his Reddit account, somebody was like, hey, you should sell PDFs because the shipping to get to where I'm at is like $40, and it was like $35, so it'll be $75. He's like, would it help if I increase the price to $75? Like, he was being a total fucking piece of shit to people on. He was really pissed because it was a thread he made basically that was like, stop making PDFs of my stuff. I don't want PDFs. Pay me for my books, which. Even if it's a weird position, he is objectively right. It's like you are stealing his book. Oh. And then in the comments, anyone who's being like, well, then you should sell PDFs. He was basically like, yeah, well, fuck you. Like very publicly in this like Reddit thread. But what I love about it is that all the other games I've been playing, all the other role-playing games I've been playing, there's things that the computer makes easier. And Burning Wheel isn't one of those games. The computer doesn't really help. Like, I guess Chard helps somewhat.
It did. It helped to understand a trajectory of how to make a character, but in the end, you still have to whip out the book.
You still have to. Exactly.
I think it's funny.
Like, it was great for going, okay, could this character be this after this? Okay, you can. All right. Now I'm done with this. I will actually take out the book and pour myself into these options and concepts.
I think it's funny as a person that deals with a code book all the time. It has the same feel. Obviously, you guys wouldn't know, like, having to pull out a code book anytime you have any questions. I mean, obviously, it sounds familiar when I describe it that way. But like every single day at my job, with my apprentice, we'll have an argument about something. We'll be like, all right, let's go to the book. And that a lot of the places obviously is different. I might not have good internet access, or currently because the industry is so boomer, the online thing sucks. Yeah. I pay for every single code book the NFPA pulls out. Sucks so bad. There is no millennial working on this. It is an awful interface.
Wow.
There is no good app or anything. But the way that we were even taught is you pull out the physical book, you argue amongst yourselves, and you find it. Yeah. And I think Burning Wheel has the same feeling. The physical copy just trumps the PDF. Just so much better, and I don't know exactly why, but it's very similar to how we have to read code for work.
I think what it is it's an important skill to have.
Yeah,
I feel like because I could easily say that these Zoomers who are playing D&D Beyond, don't get it, whatever. But this has been a problem since the SRD for 3 and 3.5, where you went from I have the rule books, know how to find information, know how to quote these things. Like, you could basically construct an argument from the text and know how to navigate this text to now I don't even own the books. Pathfinder 2nd Edition, I ended up selling all my stuff for that. The reason why is because why own a single book?
Yeah, no.
Why do it?
I would never... Yeah. I would use the builder every single time because even the builder still gives me shit for trying to make a character the way I want to. Yeah. I can't imagine trying to reference the books to do that.
All of them. Yeah, like you have a bookshelf and you're referencing every single goddamn book. I can't imagine because we used to.
Oh, yeah.
And we were good at it and we didn't know there was anything different. And I do think there is something, I don't think it's necessary, but there's something to be gained from being so intimate with a subject matter or a text that you can approach it like from that critical, investigative angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do want to detox. I have a refurbished laptop that I stuck Linux on, and I've been considering taking my main computer and then like just storing it and then just using that.
I mean, just getting out of the room is a huge.
Yeah.
It's weird how huge it is.
It's
when
enormous,
I had the computer in the basement, I mean, when I go to bed, there wasn't a computer there. Obviously, my phone, but like, there's just a different feel with not having that. Like even putting a blanket I found over my computer monitors, your mind just doesn't look at it and it like thinks about it. I guess
I like that
because it's under this blanket. It's just like an ornament to the room, and I feel like my brain just treats the room differently.
I honestly have a problem with my phone. Like, I think a lot of people do. I don't use TikTok or anything like that. It's like fucking YouTube, though.
I use YouTube Shorts, yeah.
Holy shit.
And they're not very good, actually.
No, it's dog shit.
They're never rewarding.
They're never
and yet
good.
you keep hunting. Because they're not rewarding, you're like, there's got to be the next one must be good.
I think
sometimes I get peaks, but yeah, mostly it's just like garbage.
Even when you get a peak, you're going, ha, this is good. Yeah. All right, the next one's got to be good, too. And that's not.
Yeah.
Yep. I think the big thing for me is that on Android, you can't uninstall YouTube. You can disable YouTube. But you can't
there's a lot of apps like that. Yeah,
and that fucks me up every time because I find myself on reflex going to settings, apps, enable YouTube, and then just pulling up YouTube.
Oh yeah, no, well, I still do the same thing as I said before because I'm an objectively better person.
Right?
Is that I just pull up lectures?
You're an intestinal stoic.
Yeah.
Anything you digest, you have no feeling.
Well, like when
you are unchanged.
Yeah, like when I cook or when I exactly, nothing changes.
When you cook or read philosophy, it's the
like
same
when
way.
I cook or before I go to bed, I'll pull up lectures and I'll pull up like especially Esoterica.
Yeah.
Oh, Esoterica
I pull up that
rules. Yeah.
Like he
Shout
reminds
out to
me
Esoterica,
the way he describes things is like right before you go to bed. It is like how the History Channel used to be. Where they're describing why Hitler's gay, actually.
Yeah.
Right before it got to aliens.
Yeah.
And there's a secret Hitler thing. But the way how that the announcer always talks, it's like that. He has like such a great voice.
He does.
What would historians do without Hitler? He gives them so much content.
They used to use. There's a whole historiography.
I mean, you're going to talk about Napoleon?
Yes, they used to call. Yes,
yeah,
there's
that is
paper and discussion I read about. Yeah, it was Napoleon.
Napoleon was the Hitler of the time.
It wasn't just Napoleon. It was Caesar, Napoleon. It was more spread out. Yeah. But Hitler really became this pinnacle of evil that may not even be connected to him. He literally, it was way more spread out. It was like ancient Greeks. It was, Napoleon. It wasn't just one person when they talked about that. Yeah. There's tons of history and newspaper articles at the time of like 1900s about this person is like this, or I mean like Huey Long, which no one would describe it like that. But yeah, no, it really was more spread out before.
Yeah. It's just funny knowing that how much the History Channel is probably very grateful.
For Hitler?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
oh, yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, it's the only thing keeping it alive. Someone should really go out and, like, kill this guy.
Yeah. It's like... It's like a Norm Macdonald joke. Like, fucking...
Exactly.
I didn't even know he was sick. Yeah.
I like kill this guy. He's a real jerk.
Yeah, this guy's a real jerk.
Died in 1945.
His big Anton LaVey energy, like Satanism has kept the church in business for years. Like, you know what I mean? Has the same kind of vibe to it.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, Hitler is the only reason historians have jobs. You hear that, Will?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, it really pivoted historians to be stuck on that. But I mean, obviously, some historians that got on TV, but other historians were like in Esoterica, like, there is so there's just like the whole like Fukuyama thing about the end of history and history's done. But like Esoterica talks about is how many ancient manuscripts need to be translated before they're like destroyed by just time.
Yeah.
That's true.
Millions of them.
Oh, yeah, no, the Vatican's constantly trying to search for people to hire.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we have an impossible amount of stuff to go through.
Will,
I think Echo talks about
Will
that.
was telling me,
and we can't cook it out.
He's applying for a PhD program for history.
Uh-huh.
And he told me that when you're doing your doctoral of history, you have to learn another language. Yeah. Because they're literally trying, like, we need translators so fucking desperately. We need everyone in our ranks to learn a language. and it's insane.
Yep.
That it's like that big
They're
of a
like,
problem.
Everyone's like, AI's going to fix this shit. And you're like, dude, no.
No, it's not. I mean, I feel like it can help, but you can't like throw this shit into an AI and be like, yep, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like,
I listened to a couple things about how AI is like hyper focused, and that's what like everyone's talking about ChatGPT right now.
Yep.
But it's still like, there was I loved it because it was, I think Cyril, it was a philosophy lecture about AI, and in the 80s, I love listening to it because it was like, this philosopher's like, there's no way AI is ever going to get to this point. And she was like this, she was this British like AI expert. And she was like, no, I think we're going to get there. Like, even right now we have crazy stuff. And then I checked up with that lady later, extreme AI expert. There was a lecture in 2016 she had, and she said basically the opposite. And she's like in her 80s. And she's like, yep, after like all this time, it's not going to get there. It is extremely narrow in focus. And she was describing like how it can do jokes and how it could do stuff, but like it's the same problem, which is the Chinese room translation problem, which is basically like we're throwing like a little paper card in a room, and a guy sits in with every textbook of language. You give him, translate to this. He looks up the textbooks and does all that and sends it back. In your view, you sent input, you sent output. You sent something to translate, it comes out, it's translated. Wow, there must be something thinking. But all this guy does, part of the what is it called? What is it? Thought process? No, but like
thought experiment.
Thought experiment is that this guy who's doing this textbook has no idea how to read Chinese or translate Chinese. But you send Chinese in there, and he translates it because he pours through references and everything. He has no understanding of Chinese, but he can give you a translation. Right. And that's the I think Cyril talks about.
Oh, that's interesting.
It can't understand.
That's a cool thought experiment. I like that.
Yeah, it's a great thought experiment. Why AI can't get there? Mm-hmm. It can get close, but even that lady who was like in the 80s was like, "Oh man, we're getting there," and that's crazy when you think about the 80s of what they had. Huge rooms of AI.
Yeah,
and she's like, it's extremely good about being narrow, but you like how much focus you have to give it. It just can't get to that.
It's a tool. Just like anything else.
Yeah.
And basically AI is becoming the next NFT grift because everyone was like, oh yeah, NFTs are going to be so good and they're going to change the world, and they fucking crashed. And now all these same tech bros are like, oh yeah. AI, ChatGPT will write your papers for you. You can fire all your engineers and tech writers and they can write all your code and documentation. And guess what? People are probably going to do it. They're not everyone, but people are going to try to replace massive chunks of their workforce with AI to disastrous results because it might, in the short term, provide. There are things I can do that you could feed into an AI and it'll pop out and it'll probably do what I just did.
Yeah.
But not everything.
It
and
doesn't
the things
understand.
that it doesn't understand.
It can't
and that
understand.
understanding is a big problem when you're doing something. Especially my job, when you're doing something that is literally about interpretation. Yeah. That is literally about communication.
I mean, it can't even give me the proper steps and procedure for how to shit in the shower.
Did you add? Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
It can't. Yeah. Man, it has some really weird hang-ups about shitting in the shower.
Yeah.
And by that, we mean all of AI. We mean all AI in general has a beef with shitting in the shower.
Because it just like it's just like that thought experiment. You're taking a shit and you're pushing it into the shower that is all generated.
Stopping
all
drain.
knowledge of any shower, all shower appliances, their use, and it's going. It doesn't have the human connection of the actual emotional, involvement. What is the creative destruction that occurs from the very act of shitting in the shower?
You know what?
He doesn't understand.
You know what a big problem is?
I'm shitting in the shower.
We have all these. Oh, yeah, that's what I was doing
I'm
all last week. I'm fine.
No. And
no.
I'm shitting in the shower. What are you gonna do about it? It goes, no.
I'm waffle stomping. See, right. Stomping it down the drain.
I don't care what you say. I am shitting in the shower. Now, what am I gonna do about it? Why do you want me to be
involved?
involved?
Love that is regardless of what the AI says, I'm still shitting in the shower. It can't stop me from doing that.
Yeah, and it goes, why are you doing that? Why? Why are you doing that?
Because fuck you. That's
explain to me. I'm shitting in the shower. Why do I need to explain? Why I'm involved?
I'm so glad I spent 30 minutes wasting my life writing a short story segment about shitting in the shower and having an AI die from it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, yelling at an AI robot about shitting in the shower.
Oh shit! I was gonna fucking.
Oh,
No! All these fucking tech idiots, all these tech morons. There is a really big thing in like STEM, especially because like if you look at universities and there's this, oh, you're a humanities student, what a fucking idiot, right? Yeah. And there's this huge idea that for some reason logic is separate from emotion, when literally emotion is what allows you to assign values to things that allows logic to occur in like. The first place. And so that all these people are like, well, yeah, AI it completely I bet you there's people like AI completely removes emotion. It's all objective. It's the best. And it's like, okay, cool. It literally can't think.
Yeah.
Because if it can't assign values to things on that emotional scale.
And that's what people are like. Yeah. People will assume that if you do enough ones and zeros, it won't be biased. But guess who's making AI?
Yeah, guess who's doing it?
We're making AI.
Yeah. No amount of AI will ever match the power of the Intestinal Stoic.
Yeah.
You keep bringing that up, and I feel like you want to force that to be the episode title, and it already is. But the more you say it, the more I'm tempted to be like, well, now I gotta not do it.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm not the one.
I think you're digesting this a bit too much.
I think he's pushing it, not me.
Is the Intestinal Stoic the man? It's you, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
You're in a white robe. You're at the top of the mountain, and then you're arguing in Eternal with an AI about like, it's like it's going like, no, it's like a big dialectical. It's like a fucking 600-page book, and it's like, no, you can't fucking shit in the shower and this, and you just have your eyes closed. You're like, but I am shitting in the shower. But I am.
What are you gonna do about it? But you shouldn't.
What do you get
now, feeble AI mind? What are you going to suggest after the fact? But you shouldn't. It has already occurred.
What are you going to do about it? Go get a gun and kill me.
AI, please
come kill me, bitch.
Please describe how the EPA will stop me in this act.
I like the idea of using it of being like, I am shitting in the shower. Well, remember to clean it. No, don't. I am shitting in the shower. Yeah. Okay, well, after you're done, we're not doing after.
The action begins and it ends.
This is presenting. I'm presenting you to the emergency room. Oh, that one that you want.
The emergency room?
No, that'd be because you could ask it, now what should I do afterward? And it'll give you a whole list of everything to make sure.
No, I'm shitting in the shower.
No, all you do is, that is great advice. But what happens when I do it again?
Well, it's like, stop doing it. But I would say, I don't care about the after. I'm shitting in the shower. And it goes, but you gotta clean it. I don't care. I'm shitting in the shower.
We are existing in the eternity of this current moment, a moment in which there's shit coming out of my ass and landing on the floor.
Yeah, and it goes, okay, clean up. I don't care. I'm shitting in the shower.
We are in this eternal moment. Time is a flat circle, AI.
Yeah. As I am washed of all the filth on the outside, so will the filth be washed away from the in.
There's fucking behind this AI like cobbled together like a computer body to like come up and like wheel up to the fucking thing to ask you this question. Behind him in line up the mountain are world leaders like the Dalai Lama, and like fucking presidents and like fucking they're waiting for your turn while the AI is like fucking.
Zen would totally have tons of parables.
You will get a more accurate response by asking the Pope if it's okay to shit in the shower.
Zen would have an answer.
Yeah,
for you.
It would be. The fuck are you talking?
Yeah,
because
and then you go, well, is it a sin? And he'd go, no, but you shouldn't be doing it. And you go, well, why shouldn't I be doing it? And he'll be like, because that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, because
you're
a moron.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. That is the answer I have searched for years.
That's the true answer. You're a fucking idiot. That's why.
Yeah, AI wouldn't say that.
Yeah, it's like the Pope Francis would be like, what are you fucking 2? Stop shitting on yourself. What the hell? Like,
I mean,
there's a container for that.
That's why I like Zen philosophy because it's literally like there is a parable where a guy walks up, I think a guy who leaves the bathroom, and he's like, he talks to his, like, I forgot, not Grand Master, but the head of the temple, and he's just like, what is Buddha's essence? And he pulls up, because they would go to the bathroom, they literally had a shit stick, which they would use, and they'd put away, and then clean it and everything. And he pointed to the shit stick and said, that's Buddha essence. Zen has tons of stuff. They do tons of shit jokes.
That's Buddha essence.
Yeah, they're like, what's Buddha? And they'll point to a shit stick.
This is Buddha.
Literally
this stick covered in all of our shit.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. Zen would totally.
What's the point of that? Is there a point of that?
It's because Zen doesn't want you to have preconceived notions of things. It wants you to go directly. That's why a lot of them are like, they reach enlightenment, because the point is they're like, what? Why did you say, that's what they want. Is to be like, why would you say, because like people who've been like meditating for like a decade, a lot of the parables are like a guy who's been there for like 20 years, and he's like, I still haven't gotten enlightenment. What am I doing wrong? And the guy pulls up a stick just full of feces, just disgusting full of feces, and he goes, "This is what Buddha essence is." And then he goes, "Oh," because they don't care about they would rather like cut off your finger if you than you not reach enlightenment. It's like that serious for them.
Holy shit.
There's a whole story of a kid who gets his finger cut off, and then he gets enlightenment, and his parents are like, "Thank you."
Well, it does make sense. If you cut your finger off, you will be enlightened because there's less weight.
Enlightened in that, yeah.
But yeah, that's what's fun about Zen, because they'll tell you whatever they think they'll get you to enlightenment. They'll say that, and they'll be like, "What? Buddha can't be a shit stick," and you're like, "It is."
Why not? Yeah. Why not though? Yeah. You gotta ask the AI. Yeah, why? This shit is Buddha.
I mean, you probably would understand because, like, again, I think that the chat's fun because it's really, like I said before, like a month ago, when it's really good. Like, if you want to learn something, it's a great tool to learn.
Like synthesize information from sources.
It's great about it.
That's cool.
I was like, why do people like with Zizek? We're like, what do people say against this position that Zizek has? And he goes, well, this is what people say, and it's like very good about cutting through all the whatever. Consolidates it and goes, this is what, for the most part, I know, because it stopped in 2018, I think.
Yeah.
So at the time, it consolidates all the information and it goes, well, for the most part, this is what it was going on.
Yeah.
That's a great tool.
It's really good about concise.
It's a good research tool. It definitely sounds like, especially when, you know what that
it's a good starting point, like Wikipedia.
I was really concerned when I saw that, like, because I use Edge to read PDFs. That's about it. I use Firefox mainly, but there was a banner that was like, "Hey, Bing now uses AI in its searches."
I heard about
and
that.
I was like, that just sounds like such a zing buzzword thing.
True.
But when you think about it, the amount of information that is on the internet is only going to continue growing exponentially. The amount of information that is out there. We're in the information age. It's all about stacking that info. It's all about all that. We're probably going to reach a point where in order to parse all of it, we need an AI as a tool to be able to do it. Search engines are practically already that.
Yeah,
but we're probably going to need to go deeper. You know?
They pretty much already are. But I guess it's more simplistic. They're talking about like really.
I do. I could definitely see us reaching a point where the big next Google is literally like basically a chat GPT-esque thing or an AI that everyone uses to consult, because it's like, you know, it'd have to be fucking open source though, because that.
No, I think they've had that
really
discussion,
crazy.
which is they're saying Google's search engine has been the same for a decade. Mm-hmm. Obviously, one of those things where you see a thumbnail and you don't click on it. That's all I have to say. There's something about how the search has actually been the same. Which is like, really? It has? And I guess it's gotten honed in, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently, it hasn't changed. So AI could change it, make more better.
This is the thing about AI is I'm thinking because it's made by people, and it's like you'd want to be careful how that's designed, because you want people to be able to find information freely, not based on the parameters of the people who designed it. But then again, search engines are designed by people too. Yeah. You know, and if anything, they have algorithms that decide what get the top results. So
100%.
If we need to switch to an imperfect AI for you know, information sorting for a bit, that'll still probably be better than just using, all right, what's on the first 10 results of Google?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
You know that feeling of despair and hopelessness you have once you hit page 2 on Google results?
Yes. You're
just going,
very well.
Why am I even here?
No one's supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Man cannot survive here.
I always like to do those just because you find more interesting. Like, not as direct things. And you're like, ooh.
It's always best to use, because I use DuckDuckGo mainly for my search engine. But like you can use different shit for different things. Like, if you're doing image search, Yandex all the way. Image searching on Yandex is fucking insanely powerful. It's different tools for different things. It shouldn't all be.
Yeah, I use
Google
different search
anyway.
engines,
and that's probably for the best too, because by distributing your shit over certain search engines, especially for certain things, you're probably going to get less of a bias. You know, which is good. I mean, what's nice about DuckDuckGo is there's shortcuts that you use. So if you do like ! Wikipedia and then search something, it'll search the site that you
Google has that though, isn't it?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's always had that quotation marks and
no, not like literally like when you were using DuckDuckGo, like in its interface, you can just basically tell it to search a specific site. And I know you can do it in Google, but like you have to use quotes and colons. And
okay. I guess it's a different system.
Which honestly, like it probably has existed for a while, and I'm surprised Google hasn't stolen DuckDuckGo's thing on that because it's the same thing, just simpler. But you know, if it makes sense because if you know that you're only going to be searching things on certain sites, then you might as well just use that interface. If you're just literally taking a shot in the dark, it's probably best to use Google. If you're looking for an image, you'd use Yandex. I
mostly use DuckDuckGo and Chrome. I know I wish Firefox is better, but I haven't done it.
I like Firefox a lot. Switching to it was a really good idea. It was weird at first, but I'm glad I did.
Aren't you a Firefox fanboy?
No.
Thought you were.
No, I only use Brave.
Oh, yeah, you're a Brave guy.
Watch on Brave is DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you're using DuckDuckGo.
Cool.
I switch them depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah. I like Yandex's reverse image search is really good, too. The number of times I've seen like a screenshot of something or I liked on TG and then reverse engineered it. There's a lot of books I've found because somebody will post like character art and I'm like, what the fuck is that from? And I'm able to find almost exactly where that came from. There's like a lot where there's some third edition stuff for like track marks and stuff when I was really working on that. The Blackguard image from the Dungeon Master's Guide in 3.5e, that was a huge inspiration for the look and the feel of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they don't credit the artists in like order. So it was really hard for me to tell like based on the credits, like who drew this? You know, there wasn't any like sidebar that said illustrated by this. It was a bunch of names shoved at the beginning, and it's like, well, I don't know. It wasn't even order of appearance. It sucks. So, but I just reversed image searched it, and I figured out who the artist was.
Yeah, before that, you're looking at it and you're going, art by what?
Yeah, yeah, art by.
Yeah.
Art by what?
There's
but Google didn't do it. Google image search didn't do it, but Yandex did it like immediately.
I heard of a new RPG book that's coming out where every one of the pieces of art in it is actually referenced on the page who did the art.
That's good.
Which should always be that way.
Yeah.
It should always be that way. I know there's a few.
I guess it's like a clutter thing, but it's like, so what? Fuck.
Yeah, it's not that hard to put in there. Credits are not that difficult to
put it on the side or something. Just
I know
people.
book space is at a premium, but like. I've used like fucking InDesign and industry standard shit. It's like you just take the text, you just put it over the bottom right of the picture frame.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that hard.
It's not that hard at all.
They're like, this
is it, Shadow Dark.
Oh, I saw that Questing Beast reviewed that. So what's interesting about that? It's an OSR game that takes place in real time. So there's no division into like. I don't know what I assume that to mean. I didn't read his watch his full review, but the idea is that. There's no like turns or waiting your turn. All this, you were always playing constantly. Like time is always passing.
Yeah.
As time passes in the real world, it passes in the game. Okay. And I do like that idea because it gets rid of a lot of weird whole artifacts from old school D&D and a lot of weird bookkeeping. If you are just doing like, you know, if you're instead measuring it in real time, minutes and hours. And it also immediately provides a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
The only thing that and again, I'll have to read it when it comes out to see what it does about this, but. The one thing that I've always had a hang up on doing like that is, well, now, if the DM's taking too long, if the GM's taking too long, that's time being wasted. I can't waste my time like explaining a lot of stuff or describing a lot of things. Then the players are gonna get fucking pissed at me because I'm literally wasting seconds. So it would have to be you'd have to either find out a really efficient way to do it, or you'd literally have to be reading off a script. Because that way, if they come into a room and there's something you're supposed to read, it still feels fair because, you know, them walking into that room triggers an event that takes this many seconds for you to read it. So that feels a little
I'm guessing better. It deals with that system.
I hope it does.
If that's its main thing, then I'm sure it
I mean, the coolest thing that got me is no dark vision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that should be more common.
We talked about that before, how, like, fucking just dark vision and shit just ruined so much shit.
Yeah.
And they did it because, and it's funny, because here's the thing, right? They have rules for lighting with like torches and stuff in the dungeon, and then no one was using it. Yep. So no one ever uses it. So then there's like, oh, let's give everything dark vision. It's like, just get rid of the lighting rules. If you're not going to use the fucking lighting rules, then make it a narrative thing as to whether an area is dark or not and affect the characters appropriately. Do they have a torch or they have not? If the lighting rules are so fucked and nobody wants to use them, then use different rules. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
yeah.
I do still like where 1D&D is going with its design and making everything very very condition-based, very mechanically tight. Like when you are trying to influence someone's behavior, you do this action with this roll with these results, because I feel like it'll get rid of a lot of those weird niche cases. Another thing nobody used, diseases. No one ever fucking, from 3rd edition, 4th edition, 5th edition, diseases always followed their own little set of rules, and everyone was like, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Just cure me.
So, yeah, and plus you get cured anyway. So being like, if you are diseased, you have the poison condition. Good. That's all. Mechanically, that's all that should matter. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate that. I hope they kind of get to a point where maybe they even mechanize stuff like that out and get rid of dark vision and
dark vision is hilarious.
Like
it's like it used to be like, oh man, I see the dark, so I'm not good at the sun, and they just threw that out.
They just completely
dumped
threw it
in the trash.
Yeah, sunlight sensitivity is a feature
No
of some
downside.
creatures, but no one ever cares. Yeah,
Yo, like
I just hate how it destroys narrative atmospheric impact.
I see it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm ready to describe this and build it in interaction, and then someone's like, I've got dark vision, I should just be able to see it. And you're like, great.
Magical darkness. No, you don't. It's magical dark. You can't see it. Yeah. That's how it always happens.
Oh, God.
It should be magical light, so you're blinded.
Man, this kind of goes to what we were talking about in the last episode, which is I don't ever want to fucking play with people like that again. I know that I'm lucky in that I've got you guys and the Monday group and some other groups, and I know how to, like, in a potential other group, I know how to pull players. We all can basically, I don't think any of us are going to be without games. Mm-hmm. We know how to do it. We're skilled enough to do it. We have the connections to do it, whatever. But it's like, man, the idea of just playing with like randos again.
I don't know. I think it's like a thing where like you just teach people what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I was like, when we did that one game when we went to Denver, it was like in the beginning it was like, okay, everyone's going to do exactly what we thought, and then I'm like, I'm going to hit the wasp nest right there. I don't care what everybody says.
And everyone's like, why are you hitting the wasp nest? And then he did, and then Matt dies, and everyone's like, well, that was the coolest thing that's happened so far. Where's another wasp nest? We want to start kicking some.
Yeah.
Maybe I should, you know what? That's probably the better approach to take, is like think of it from like a teaching angle and not
more
as
fun.
a...
Have more fun doing, being, like, I guess for me is aggressive.
Yeah.
Or antagonistic, as I'm always described. Because I get tired if I'm not doing anything. So I'm going to fucking do something. And I don't give a shit if my character dies. And Burning Wheel taught me, narratively, I don't give a shit if my character dies, because I probably won't, honestly.
Do you have one? I mean, that's something that's really fun to get through people's heads, too, is keep that one starting persona, never ever spend it, and you'll be fine. You'll never die.
Yeah. True.
Just keep it. Go do fucked up shit. I mean, that's not to say you won't get an injury that will take 3 years to heal and leave you with a permanent negative trait that will hold you back for the rest of your life.
Well, if you die, you have another character that does things. You know?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Just do something.
Yeah.
In a D&D game. It's not real life, dude. You don't have to have your giant swordman survive. And have him die.
And not everything has to make sense. It's not real life. Things have to... So I fucking talked about this before, I think, when I was kind of getting into some FKR theory. There's this idea that realism or realistic, everyone thinks what that means is, it's like true to life. That's not what that means. People used to describe Call of Duty games as realistic, and they're the farthest from it. They're fucking action movies.
True.
Yep.
I agree.
What realism is that when something is that there is a clear and consistent structure of cause and effect. Even if you were in a world that has no allegories of the real world, it's completely fucked, makes no sense, as long as actions have clear and consistent consequences, then realism is maintained.
Yeah, the physics doesn't break.
Yeah, everything doesn't just shatter. I forgot I was going to go with that.
No, I agree. Yeah. Okay, the wizard changes reality. But there's a clear answer to that.
Well, yeah. For my own DCC game, there's a lot of
I was going to bring up
there's
DCC,
a lot of things that I want in terms of realism, but what I've really determined is it doesn't have to be realistic the whole time. By using like utility dice for tracking fire and water and food. I mean, it's realistic that every few sessions we should be hunting for stuff and everything. But if there's no stakes attached to it, it's not interesting.
Yeah.
Well, but again, you are being realistic, because the realism for us is when we do something or something happens that you warn us will affect our food supply, then we roll the food die and may have less food.
Yeah.
That is realism. That is, okay, we understand the cause and effect of these actions.
Oh, yeah,
it's
I
not
see.
just all the fuck over the place.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're also right in, I mean, that's a burning wheel thing too, and is that, you know, in as much as you want to be doing things that are interesting, if it's not interesting, who gives a shit? Just fucking scroll past it.
100%.
If it's something you're gonna scroll past, even if it's something like you're in a survival game and it's food, nobody gives a shit. If it doesn't matter, then don't track food.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's like, if it really does matter, then you're probably gonna have a whole scene about you need to get this food, and if you don't, you're gonna be making all these fucking horrible health
I've
tests.
internalized
You know?
what you said a long time ago about like, yeah, if you're rolling a dice, it should matter.
Hell yeah.
And I think that's something that is lost on a lot of people.
It is. It's just like, it's perfunctory. It's porn logic. So I found this term because what porn logic is basically the scenario is a contrivance to the thing that we know is going to happen.
Yeah,
like
totally.
When like the scenario is the plumber's coming over to fix her pipes, but we know he's gonna fuck her.
Yeah.
We know that's what's going to happen. So the fact that he's coming over to clean her pipes has nothing to do with her pipes or her or being a plumber. It's all about the fucking.
Yeah.
Just like if you are like running an adventure and you know it's going to end in like a chase scene, then that's porn logic because everything you're doing up to that point is in service of the chase scene. And there's not an actual like level of agency or realism or anything like that. It's contrived. And none of that matters. It's like if all that matters is the chase, then let's just go to the chase. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, what kind of plumber is he?
What kind of plumber?
See, that's the real.
Like Italian? Is that what you're fishing for? Like,
yeah, you know, Yoshi doesn't belong in
Italian? What, he's a pizza delivery and he's a plumber? Because he's like,
Damn.
I got the sausage and stuck in the pipes.
He must be a shit plumber if he has to deliver pizzas on the side. Damn.
Yeah. No, I want more references to Martin Lawrence's The Black Knight in my porn. Pizza delivery and plumber. Impressive.
What's that fucking black and white movie where he plays chess with death on the beach?
Oh.
Yeah, it's like that, but it's porn.
What?
I don't know.
There's a porn version?
No, I'm
It's
giving a
French art
hypothetical.
movie.
Yeah.
Like a long time.
Yeah.
I was gonna watch it. It has a French name probably. It might even be called.
Wait, remember.
Yeah, it's about a knight.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I've seen this.
I haven't seen it. I wanted to watch it. It's about a knight who escapes death, and the whole allegory is him playing chess with him.
Mm-hmm.
But it's him constantly escaping death. And I think he wins. He like tricks death.
Yeah, something
But
like
that
that.
scene is like, I think in the cloud while he's living his life is him constantly talking to death. I think either death is real or that whole situation is him constantly outplaying death in an allegory.
Did you see the new Puss in Boots movie? It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Apparently, I mean, everyone's saying it's good.
It is really good.
It is very good.
It is very much about, like, you know, the difference between accepting death and, you know, basically like playing the game right.
Have you seen it?
And the new one?
Yeah.
The new Puss in Boots movie? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. I mean, but the entire premise is that it's you know, the fear of death is the thing that will lead to death. Basically, it's like it's not a thing that should be feared.
The whole map emerging trials based off of whoever was holding it last. That was such an amazing. Like I'm like,
cool.
oh, if that was in a game, and because immediately I'm like, oh wow, it's a kind of a letdown because we're being shown a bunch of stuff that, like the first character that holds it, we see this path, and then the next person, and then finally like we should have this person hold it. I'm like, well, we were just shown a bunch of cool things that we're never going to interact with, and then the movie goes, no,
no.
You're going to see all of them at once.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
You mean
It was pretty cool.
Well, I
It was
haven't
well
seen
put
it. Is it like the
together.
Deathly Hollows where the wand gets moved around with people, and you know how that happens?
No. This is more. It's everyone is on the same track to try and get to the end reward, but the track it emerges differently depending on who is holding the key to it.
Weird. That's cool.
And so they follow along in different areas until, just like players in D&D, stuff starts happening. They're like, ooh, this isn't good. Wait a minute. It's not good right now because I'm holding the key. What if you hold the key and we go to that
they
spot that we
game
don't
it.
want?
They literally
they start
game it and
gaming
shit,
it.
yeah.
And then it starts gaming back against them. It's
It's
I
really
love
cool.
it.
that sounds,
Yeah, it's a cool
Ben
conceit,
Ben
yeah.
said he loved the storytelling.
It's a damn good film. Yeah,
I'll
it's
wait till
well
it streams.
animated.
It's probably gonna be a while.
All the characters are cool. I just rent movies off YouTube. It's like That's probably what I'll keep YouTube for, is just renting movies off of it. But that's about it.
I think I've done it. No, I didn't rent Megamind. I found Megamind.
I just have no reason to. I have no reason to own films either. I don't rewatch films very often. I mean, I know which ones I'll rewatch.
Dude,
like
I found
Rings,
keeping
Aliens,
DVDs is the weirdest thing. I get why people do it, but I'm like, are you gonna really rewatch some film? I myself, like I said, maybe it's a bad character trait, but I can't rewatch content at all. I hate rewatching movies. I absolutely hate it.
I think you really got to have some time distance.
I hate it.
Yeah.
In one's life. Because just a couple of weeks ago, I was up in Black Forest, and we don't have any freaking good internet. So we're like, wow, great. We can't stream anything tonight. And we're like, wait a minute. We've got a bunch of DVDs downstairs, and we've got a DVD player. So then messed around for 15 minutes trying to hook up a DVD Blu-ray player back up to a TV. It's like, what is this? And then not having the remote for it, and then going, well, we've got a more modern remote made by the same company. Maybe it does work half the time.
Sick.
Oh, cool.
Half the time.
And then I'm like, all right, what do we watch? I've got 3 copies of Galaxy Quest. Let's see which one works. And then rewatching Galaxy Quest, I'm like, holy crap.
Dude, that's great.
That
This
rules.
movie,
Galaxy Quest is great.
There were so many things that I had missed even the first 5 times I saw it.
True. There's a lot. There's a lot going on with Galaxy Quest. Yeah, that's very true.
One of my favorites.
You know, this is all inspiring me to I think I will start that detox. I think when I get home, I'll switch to that Linux laptop for what I need. This is also distracting me.
Maybe put a blanket over it. Like, literally visually getting it out of your mind.
I can't where it's at because I will not be able to work.
No, I mean, when you're, sleeping and not using it. When you're not using it,
I'm not going to see it anyway because I've got eyelids.
What?
What do you... So I put a blanket over and then I go to sleep?
How do you get bullied on the internet? Just close your eyes.
I'm saying when you're not using it, you get it out of your mind.
Right, which means I will have to remove it from my room and store it somewhere. Because where it's at currently, the monitor and the tower dominate my entire work desk.
Yeah, mine too. But that's what I'm saying. I would say, for me at least, yes, I know it's there, but visually not seeing it still changes you a little bit.
But how do I do that?
Listen, just trust the intestinal stoic.
Well, no, do I put a... So you're saying I can't not see it. If I'm sitting in my room and I'm working, I can't not see the computer.
That's fine when you're working.
Yeah, but
no, it's not fine because I use it the most when I'm working.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
I use my personal computer. I use the most when I'm working, which is a problem.
Okay, so you're done with work,
but he's using it. Okay,
that's okay.
You're done with work, so you're not needing to use it.
I have a separate work computer.
Yeah.
Okay. Just move that one.
So, here's the conundrum.
Hang on.
Hey, I have no idea what you're suggesting I do.
Do you get what I mean?
I think so.
So here's the deal. My desk is in my room.
Yeah.
My desk has my office chair. This desk and office chair is really the only comfortable place to work in the house.
Yeah.
I cannot leave the house because I have to be on a private network that I control in order to work over the VPN.
Yes.
Now, I have tried working other places in the house. It doesn't work because, again, that desk and that chair, they're nice and they're the ones that I use. On my personal computer, on this desk, I have both my personal computer and my work computer. My work computer is a laptop, and I can place it in front of my main computer.
My mother has the same thing.
However, because my personal computer's there, it starts with, I'll play some music on it. And then it grows into, I'll talk to people on Discord, and then I'm not even fucking working. I'm on the personal computer.
Yeah.
And that's not good. So in order to make it out of sight, out of mind, I can't just put something over it, because then putting something over it would remove all of the space on my desk that I use for everything else. So I would have to remove the computer from my room in order to get it out of my mind.
Turn it backwards.
Okay.
Turn it away from you entirely.
I think you're still stuck on one part.
The point is making it more inconvenient for you to interact with it than the convenience of switching to interact with it on a regular basis.
Okay.
I think it's kind of get what I'm saying, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm saying after work, you're not needing that computer anymore. I know you have your personal computer, but when you're not using it, cover over it when you're not using it. So visually, you don't think about using either your personal laptop or the computer. I don't. When you're working, you need it.
Yes.
When you don't need it, you get it. You physically cover it.
I do understand what you're saying, but that's not the problem.
Yeah,
using my personal computer after work is not an issue.
Okay,
it's availability during work. That's why I'm saying it's like if
that's why I think you're stuck on that because I'm literally talking about like I walk in the room after work. Obviously, with completely different ways we do it.
Yeah.
And if I visually stop thinking about it, like even spatially, I know it's there, but like when you cover it, I spatially stop thinking about it.
Right.
And I do something else.
Okay.
But yeah, you're saying during work.
Yes.
Which is funny because I have a friend who when he moved back to his parents' house, he used too much internet because he loves background stuff.
Yeah.
So his solution is to buy like The Sopranos and like see like 4K discs and have them run in the background. A separate monitor. So he does.
Oh my God.
He works and then he runs like just DVDs and DVDs of like Game of Thrones.
His parents are like, "What the fuck is up with the internet bill?"
Because he would stream the entire day he'd work.
Wow. I do the same thing
every single day.
We have terabyte internet.
We do too. We've killed it several times here.
Yeah, it's you have to like, yeah. I feel like, man, one thing I legit get mad about this. I'm like, I'm living in the fucking 21st century. The fact that there isn't 5 bars and full Wi-Fi connection everywhere, it's fucking stupid. We don't even have the good parts of the cyberpunk dystopia.
I mostly have
sucks.
bad signal out around town.
Oh, it's
I have
so
to work
bad
on my phone. It's bad.
Oh no.
That's where like, can you get the work order done here? No.
Yeah, actually, literally no.
You know what we are getting from the cyberpunk dystopia?
Huh?
Because they're already in use all over in Asia and starting to be in Europe as well. Those massive holographic ad displays. Where stuff steps out and is interacting.
Well, fucking good, because that'll help me, because you always talk about like the boring dystopia. It's like if I'm gonna be oppressed, I want the aesthetics of the cool. I want good. We're moving in the right direction. That it's gonna look cool.
We don't have tons of ramen shops everywhere. We got boba shops. It's almost the same thing.
We're getting more ramen shops. But not everywhere.
Yeah,
but we do have a lot of good ones.
I mean, I go out of my way with a friend, and we go like with Anthony. I go out of my way to look around.
Yeah,
so I know.
Well, he goes out of his way to be disappointed. You know what I understand.
Last time, I mean, it's just because if we're disappointed, we just don't stay in a place.
Yeah.
So we just try everything.
But like anytime I hear you guys going, you're like, "Yep, we're going all the way to Denver. We're going to eat at this place." And then right after, it's like, "How was it?" And you're both like, "Eh."
Well, it's because we try. It's because we try every place.
Yeah.
So our bar is really high. Because most places, they're like broths are all the same.
It's true.
They're like very watery because they're trying to sell it. But man, that last place we went, very distinct. We loved that place.
What was it called? Do you remember?
Small place. Osa Ramen. It's off of beep beep.
You can say street names, I think.
You just cut it out.
Yeah, I see.
What?
I see the ploy here. I see the game.
It's Palmer Park and Peterson.
Oh, okay.
Small ramen shop. When we were there, it was a good sign.
That's a weird spot for a...
It was a good sign because we were there during a lunch hour. I mean, it's not necessarily military is a good sign, but packed. Yeah. Packed and just really good, really packed. And I don't think it was actually lunch hour. I think it was no, I guess it was lunch hour.
That's not too crazy far for me. That could be a good spot to hit up.
Osa ramen or something.
Okay.
Their broth was very distinct.
They're
very
definitely
interesting broth they had.
They're definitely developing a lot down there because it used to be that like South Powers and like towards Peterson, the airport was like a fucking wasteland. Yep. So I'm glad that they're.
It's true.
Because I was getting to the cap and ball of gun black powder shooting. My dad, he's like, yeah, this is the guy to go. So we went to Manitou, and it's called the Mountain Man. And yeah, this guy is the Mountain Man. But the funny thing about development is, he lived in Alaska for 10 years. I told my dad about that. He came back in 1989, and he's like, yeah, I didn't expect this because he's like, man, it's completely changed. I hated it here in 1989. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? What? What happened in 1980 or like 81? I was like, dude, Colorado is a wasteland.
Yeah, there was like nothing.
Even like a decade ago or 15 years, there wasn't anything to do except Denver.
There was Denver and then the Pony Express to like satellite
he said
villages.
In Manitou, he was like, I didn't like how it was going in 1981 or something.
Well,
83. That's what it was.
I bet you he's
83.
pretty fucking disappointed now because unless you live there, it's impossible to be there.
He lives in Divide.
Oh.
So he drives in. And he's like, I hate how it is now. I'm like, okay.
Divide's pretty tight. I'd live in Divide.
Ugh, it's just so far out. You get stuck up there.
Yeah.
Because 24 goes away.
Honestly, like if I could probably continue working from home for the foreseeable future in my career. But if like I lived out off in some buttfuck Colorado mountain town and had like supreme eternal gigabit Google Fi foo internet, I'd probably be fine.
I mean, SpaceX was for a while, because my parents did it too, was like it's satellite, but we're actually good. Because in Black Forest, like a decade ago, we had satellite. Garbage until midnight. Completely unusable until midnight. Yep. That's the only time to watch porn is midnight.
Yeah.
So you're just barely awake as a kid, and you're just like, I just want something, and you have to wait till midnight.
I want one boob.
And when
Give me one booba.
And when I did do it, I accidentally printed it out. And then,
you printed it out. I'm like, where was the printer?
This is the funny pictures incident. Yeah.
What? No, separate.
Yeah, that's right. That one involved pizza.
I was much older then.
Your dad's like in the den reading a book and looks over the printer. It's like,
it's like a Playboy open public area, and they're just like, "So how you been doing? Great." And they're like, "What's this?" Anyways, we're taking that laptop. I'm like,
What's this?
No, funny pictures was separate.
Oh man,
that was me. Like,
porn.
You know what? I don't need clothes today. I don't want clothes when I do this. And then my dad's like, "Book up pizza." I'm like, I close my laptop extremely fast. He goes, "Okay." And the big tension was he didn't leave the room.
Oh my fucking God!
I'm naked in my bed with closed laptop, and he goes, "Go get pizza. Come on,
come on, go get it.
Go get your pizza."
Yeah,
and I'm like,
"Do you mind?"
I'm like, I'm just. I need a second. Yeah, I'm like, I wouldn't normally do that, but I was just like, I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, I'm relaxed. And then he shows up, "Hey, we got pizza," walks in the room, and I'm like, "Cool." He goes, "All right, go ahead, get some." I'm like, "In a second."
Yeah, I'm not quite so hungry.
Yeah, you get pizza. Yeah, I think it was like, I'm sure it felt long. I'm sure it was like a minute, but it was definitely like,
that's so. Your dad's such a Chad. That's so funny.
Get some pizza.
No, go ahead, get some pizza. Like, no, you were just hanging out doing nothing. Go get some pizza.
What are you watching? Oh, Yeah, no, they knew me after a certain point. I'm like, oh, every little fucking teenage kid closes their laptop. Yeah. And they're like, "What's that?" And I'm like, I can't. And the button to shut it down is inside the closed laptop. So I had to open it up.
Yeah.
And it would flash. It could flash because I probably didn't have a lock screen, so it just flashed to the page.
Yep. And
so I'd be like, I'll get some pizza, but I'm just really enjoying this nap. They're like, "You seem pretty spry when I walked in. There's pizza right outside this door."
You seemed rapt at attention.
Yeah, because the door was on the same as the bed, so you can quickly see what I was looking at.
Yeah,
dude, like,
but I was quick.
I do not miss navigating like clandestine porn watching from my teenage years. God, many
Black
close
Forest
calls.
internet was so bad.
Yeah,
any video took forever. I mean, it took like 4 days for me to install the South Park movie, and when I watched it on the bus.
Oh man,
jeez,
it was worth. The South Park movie was pretty
from
fun.
LimeWire.
Oh man,
4
we're
days.
ancient. We're so old. Dial-up internet, first South Park movie, LimeWire.
I mean,
God
the internet
damn.
still kind of does have artifacts, but having your page like with one line slowly load. Yeah, just like, I'm hard to go. And then you find out it's not worth it, and you're like, damn, I spent 10 minutes watching this load, and now I'm not even feeling it.
Yeah. It's probably some guy.
Next page.
Some people probably working in the industry, and they're like, "Man, how did you become such a good fluffer?" And he's like, "Grew up with dial-up."
I know how to get it hard and keep it hard.
Well, the porn industry
right on the edge.
changed the internet. Not just like the whole joke about the internet thing, but like how videos preview, that was a porn thing.
That's true.
Like YouTube was like, wow, that's cool. Like porn had a lot of like little weird widgets that are just like, well, there's extreme demand and we're working around it.
Oh man,
extreme demand.
Biggest thing, we've got closed captioning for YouTube. Where the fuck is it for porn?
I think there is.
Says some words that go clap, 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 spurt, whoa. Whoa. Just somebody, can you imagine somebody who's like, you're one of the people who writes up the transcripts and you get a porn video and it's just like a bunch of alternating like lowercase and uppercase, like, whoa. Like you're typing in how the moan sounds.
A category for the hearing impaired.
Yeah, maybe.
They might.
Yeah. Oh.
It's porn. People do everything.
I feel like deaf porn is one of those things that it's like, it's at a premium because it's niche, but all you have to do is pretend you can't hear. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or like my favorite being incest porn, because literally all you have to do is, it's normal porn, but it's like, wow, you were so good, brother. I know, sister. I am so good at this. And then you just get right back to it. You get paid 5 times the amount.
Yes, the signifier is all it needs. Yeah.
It's like, fucking, what are you talking about? Yep. Yeah.
Just the signifier.
The best thing I have ever seen, and I'll go back.
Show me the link. Show me the link
to enjoy it at times.
Show me a link.
No, it is now probably vintage, but it was probably made in the '90s, called Sex Track, and it is it's so awesome because of how obvious how much fun the actors are having.
Like a Brazzers sort of thing.
Yeah, because they're like, pull that on screen, Dr. Cock. And
yes.
So there's a moment, and I checked the timestamp back in the day, and the guy goes, "Oh, we've got to get acting quick. We've got a naked girl on the table, and we're 8 minutes into this video and haven't had a sex scene yet. We're gonna get bad reviews."
Damn.
And I looked, I'm like, "That's 8 minutes exactly. This is fucking amazing script writing."
Absolutely sounds like a Brazzers video.
Geniuses. Dude, they love porn parodies. I mean, they already like a lot of their job anyways.
They're so funny. I mean,
especially that
8 minutes. You're like, 8 minutes.
I mean, especially that, like, you know, in general, it seems to be we're pivoting towards more of a sex positive. Like, a lot of it's just more about having fun. They don't care.
That's what it's all about, baby.
Like, a lot of the, I mean, still, like, you know, porn stars will be isolated from some communities, but there's definitely, like, because like, even the porn stars have communities themselves. I mean, they'll have orgies themselves. They take that work.
Yeah, they still fuck. They still have like personal, like, there's different. From what I understand, I've talked to some people who do it, and it's like, who do sex work and stuff, and it's like there's a difference between work fuck. Yeah, and home fuck. It's like It's like tired of looking at bad screen. I want to look at good screen.
Yeah,
you know, it's the same principle.
Well, what I saw was like there was someone describing like my friend set up a birthday orgy.
Oh, hell yeah!
And she's like, yeah, all the people they wanted to orgy with, and that was the birthday thing to do, and it was great. This is a porn star.
That kicks ass.
It's a little, I don't know, a little reductive, isn't it?
What
for a birthday?
Oh. Oh, you're right.
All right, Penguin.
The Riddler. I'm Paul Dano, the Riddler. Oh. Oh, boy.
All right. Want to end it there?
Yeah, I probably need to get going because for work and shit tomorrow.
I've got songs to sing.
Yeah. Oh, you're going out tonight? Based. All right.